you started out with the idea of a 9-figure brand.
Yeah, we always wanted to build an empire. That first brand we started, Chet and I think it was 2 years before we even took a paycheck, because all we cared about was reinvesting and rebuilding. We at the time it was manufacturing. So every spare dollar we got, buy a new machine. Sometimes we didn't even know what we were going to do with the machine. We'd buy the machine and then figure out what to do with it, which is a terrible strategy, by the way.
Where's Carry Proof made?
Proof wallets are made overseas.
Okay.
That was a big pivotal. It was limiting. You can't scale that fast if you're trying to build internally.
Very true. We've experienced that. T-shirts wise, we're making T-shirts, and you can only make so many T-shirts in a building if you start like using other manufacturers. It's a lot easier. What's the biggest hurdle to just getting started, like getting from 0 to 10,000 in sales?
Waiting, in my opinion. You're waiting on suppliers to deliver a product that is satisfactory. So it's the iterations, going back and forth with the suppliers to make sure that they have the quality standards down. Like, that is such a time-consuming process that even when you're established, we're established now, when we're launching new iterations, what we want to take 1 month very easily can take 6 months, because it's a new product and it's just the back and forth, communication with the suppliers. That's, I think, one of our biggest hurdles. But ultimately, the first few days of launching a brand, I think the biggest hurdle is not having the confidence in it. You're not ready to go full force. So you spend $20 here, trying to get sales, $30 here, and you don't even have enough inventory to truly prove the market anyways. We had already learned this in our previous brand. We knew we needed a significant amount of inventory up front to even prove the market. So, we dumped about $40,000 into the initial batch of inventory.
It's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
If you're not planning on getting it back, old man only uses one wallet, so
right.
You don't need $40,000. $40,000 worth of wallets is a lot of wallets.
Yeah.
How did you guarantee that you wouldn't end up with 40,000 wallets sitting in the garage?
It didn't really matter. Again, we started our first brand 6 years prior to the wallet brand, so we had accumulated a war chest that you got to take bigger risks. And everybody says your first million's the hardest, and honestly, I agree, because you don't have the capital or the resources to allocate to the future endeavors. But for what it's worth, I started the first brand with $1,500 that I borrowed from my wife, and I paid it back immediately, and I never, ever put a single dollar back into the company from my personal money. Obviously, we reinvested, but...
So you have pretty good cash conversion cycle. You were really maximizing cash flow.
Oh yeah, always kept our profit margins high and quick turnover. And that's actually the beauty of e-commerce. Is I was having this conversation with my sister-in-law who's had a brand for about 6 years now, but was never on Meta, never ran any Meta ads. Gave her the strategy, immediately 10x'd, like I'm talking within 30 days, 10x'd her revenue because of this strategy. And her first fear was, like, how do you spend that much money on Meta? Like, I don't have that kind of money. And I said, get this credit card. You're going to get the money before you even owe on that credit card.
What do you start your spend that on? At a new account?
This new account, I was capped at $25 a day, because that's where you start.
I agree with that. I'm 100%. I start accounts max at $50 a day, because I feel like you're burning a lot of money for the first few weeks. No matter how much money we have, I don't want to burn money. So I start from very, very low. I talk to young people in a Discord, and they're starting at $300 a day. I'm like, what? And they run for 2 weeks, and they're like, oh, that's it, I'm shutting it down. I'm like, dude, you gotta slowly roll. So $25 a day. $25 a day is the number that Dana suggests. First off, what's the name of your company?
Proof Wallets.
Why did you start Proof Wallets?
We had to get out of the niche categories. I listened to Mike Beckham and Logan Sherrati talk at a Amazon conference, the first conference I ever went to, because I actually thought conferences were a waste of my time initially.
They can be.
Sometimes, but I thought, I don't need to go hear these other people talk. I need to be doing it. Well, little did I know that my first conference, I would get this little nugget of information that conveyed to me that I cannot build a 9-figure brand in a niche category. I need to broaden my horizon and be able to, have a large addressable market. So immediately I start I come to that revelation and immediately start looking for, okay, what is a big market that has a void in it? And I ultimately settled with wallets because there was only really one competitor that somebody could mention. There wasn't a lot of improvement to that design.
So wallets, you decided on wallets. Obviously a crowded category with a lot of veteran marketers. You decided to go into wallets, and you went from
0 to 18 million in 13 or 16 months or something. I credit a lot of that to our heavy focus on customer service. It truly is the priority in our company. We don't even have a budget for it. It's you please at all costs. We truly want to make the experience so memorable that these people tell everybody they know about it. And this was based off of, my personal experiences. I can only think of one company that treated me in a way that